Welcome. I'm Magic. I'm one of the co-head brewers here at Bear Bottle, and today I'll be joined by Craig.
Special guest star.
Special guest star. He works in the cellar with us here, and his background is actually in spirits. He worked at Oban in Scotland. As he's joined our team, he has quickly become the most fascinated by our barrel program.
That's why I'm surrounded by them. I spent 5 years at Oban Distillery. We've been making whiskey there for over 200 years. I was not on the production side. I was a tour guide. So if you made the pilgrimage to come to Oban, I was the person who's going to show you around. First year, I treated it like a summer job. The next year, we had a new manager, and he just opened the cupboards, and he was like, listen, you have a great learning opportunity here, like we have at Bear Bottle as well, to taste so many different whiskies. So I really got into learning different whiskies, different parts of Scotland, what made the spirit that went into them unique, the different barrels they were using. So this sort of brings together the two things I love.
Today we'll be tasting Socola, barrel-aged Socola. We make this beer every year in collaboration with Socola Chocolatier here in the city. It's based on their Vietnamese truffle, and so we add coffee, which we roast here in-house, vanilla and cacao nib. This beer was a brainchild of Lester, one of the owners here, and we've kind of massaged it, and as we've gotten better and better making stouts, made the beer bigger and badder every single year. Due to just the year,
hello darkness, my old friend,
we didn't actually get to brew the pastry stout, but last year we did tuck away a couple barrels, and tasting through them we felt it was awesome and time to release them. We aged it for 12 months in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels.
It's where I'm not able to open it. This is why spirits are easier. And we have one glass. You want to drink from the bottle?
So cheers.
Happy Beer Week.
Happy Beer Week. We haven't tried this beer in about a month.
It still smells great.
What do you get?
I got a lot of cherry off it. I would say like a Black Forest Gâteau, which I think you call a Black Forest cake here. So a lot of cherry, a lot of chocolate. And Black Forest Gâteau also has kirsch through it as well. Brings the alcohol element into it. It just reminds me of, dessert basically.
So we decided not to add any adjuncts, coffee, vanilla, or coconut like we did in the initial batch because the beer was just so good. It's a lot of chocolate too, like baker's chocolate. And it's not dark chocolate, but just like a very chocolatey chocolate, not milk chocolate, almost like those Toll House. No, that's milk chocolate, but like baker's chocolate.
chocolate, chocolate.
There's a ton of cherry. You get oakiness and you get sweetness from the bourbon, but it's not hot. It's very integrated.
And this is what, 12.1%. Doesn't taste it.
No.
Carb, I feel, adds a bit of bite to it as well. Sometimes these barrel-aged beers can be really cloying.
This is not.
I don't want to say refreshing, but
it kind of is.
But who's gonna turn down a
Barrel-aged Socola.
It's chocolate, it's
Cherry.
It's delicious. That's true. It's very refreshing.
So this is something that you're gonna wanna pour yourself a pretty hearty pour, let it warm up in the glass. As it warms up, as the CO2 evaporates, you're gonna get a different beer. Cold, you're probably gonna get a lot of those cherry notes, but as it warms up, the deeper toffee, chocolate, oaky characters are gonna come out. To me, the best part about pastry stouts, they feel indestructible when you put them into barrels. They may be so cloyingly sweet up front, which is delicious and dessert-like, but it also means that there's enough there to hold on to for a year. It oxidizes all of those malty characteristics into something even bigger and better. Think sherry, Oloroso, Madeira, port. You can get these wonderful flavors from the barrel, and these beers, I think, are the best showcase for that.
the thing I love about working with barrels as well is just tasting the change over time. We have a quiet week here. It's like, hey, let's peel some nails. Everyone in the team will have a tasting of it, and we'll be like, is this ready? Does it need a bit more time?
Designing beers for barrels is something that we're still trying to get a hang of, but it is a cool thing to think about, that it's more than just putting something into the barrel. The recipe, the barrel, the climate all matter into what kind of beer you're gonna get at the end. There's a sour brewery in Oxnard, Ventura, called Celador Ales. They're in a hot warehouse, and so they make sour beer real fast. Their funk is good, but they have this, every single beer has a sharp acetic bite. Even their blonde ones have this cool Flanders red character because of that. And it's like, can't imagine making barrel-aged beers without temperature control.
The spirits industry is really similar as well because the climate plays such a large part. Drinking whiskey from Scotland, Scotland is notoriously cold and wet, but drinking whiskeys from India, you're getting whiskeys which are much, much younger and are actually maturing at a much faster rate. So they can mature whiskeys for sort of 5-6 years, whereas in Scotland you're looking at to go like 12, 14, 16 years to get the same sort of barrel character.
Or think rum, right? You get super concentrated flavors, but I know that there's so much evaporation in rum. That's why there's so much high proof rum as well.
Yeah.
What we're getting at here is this beer is awesome. It's a cool showcase. It's the first time we put it in barrels. It made me rethink how to build base recipes for barrels. There's a little bit more crystal malt in this than most of our other pastry stouts. I'm more of a chocolate guy. But that transformation into that cool cherry note is something I'm going to continue to look forward to in future recipes. At a homebrew scale, if you do find a smaller 5-gallon barrel, you won't be able to do a year-long barrel age project just because you will get so much more oak and cask much faster. But that's okay. Make something, throw something in, you'll be able to reuse it and throw something else in right afterwards. Those second, third, fourth batches in those barrels are gonna be awesome. You can use oak spirals, oak cubes, oak chips, soak those in whatever spirit you like and throw those in smaller quantities than you think. Even a handful of oak chips will make your beer over the top. It's a balancing act, so have fun with that.